Yo, 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 yo. Yeah, we're gonna get back on this Shannon Sharpe situation with him and this OnlyFans model, whatever you want to call it. But like my last video, like my last post, like I was saying, I think it's pretty messed up on how you could bring shit back up from 20 years and a year instead of her suing. Instead of her going to press charges, she'd rather sue for money, $50 million, because she feel like her ass worth $50 million, her violation $50 million. She didn't want to take $10 million because she's a greedy nut asshole, and would want to settle for $10 million. Don't incriminate a nigga. He just didn't want that shit to come out. This man was about to sign a $100 million contract. Just didn't want nobody. $10 million was nothing to him to want to settle for this shit. You know, he probably been giving his whole money anyway. So, but I'm thinking, you know, here we go again. You know, you're going to have more chicks, more women coming out with the, oh, he touched me 20 years ago. He violated me 30 years ago. You know, it's going to be that. It's going to be that. So we just follow. That's how it goes with this Me Too movement. It comes from one woman and then 20 women and sat around for 20 years after that and fuck Shannon Sharpe. And now they feel violated about some bullshit, you know. So that's how we gonna make this shit. That's how it is right now. But I feel like, man, you can't make it in this world with doing that. I mean, if I get rich or I get famous and some hoe back in the day that I netted down her fucking throat, and now she feel violated because now I'm rich and she want to get money off of me, you know. Excuse my language, you know what I mean? But that's how they making it. That's how they making women these days. You know, they only fans don't say she wasn't making her own money, because she was making cash. But you see what she was about, selling that ass. If that shit went around, you know. But to me, I think it's gonna have to do something to be changed where, you know, you have to have credible evidence to ruin somebody, to even put it out, because now he can countersue her. But even countersuing her, she didn't put out this information. Is out there in the atmosphere. And I said, once you say it, you know, it's hard. Now he defending himself. You know, that's the hardest part. Now he defending himself about some shit. That's why I want to go on the offensive and put his narrative out there and let people know what happened on his part. You know, that shit. Hey, I'm a freak. I ain't tripping. I feel I mean, that role play shit, you know, bitches love that shit. They love to be talked to dirty. They love to be choked. And when he was talking to her, she called him on another role play as, yeah, I choke you. You know better. That's the way he been talking to her. I doubt he talked to any other women like that. Any other woman like that. Hey, I choke you. But no, that's the way they role play. That's the way they did it, you know. That's the way that they did their thing. They sexual relationship or whatever they had, but you know, they was a freak, and this bitch was a freak, and a young little hoe, and he was, you know, chipping her off. So to me, I'm gonna keep that shit real. And like I said, you got my support. My 2 cents is these women out here that's out here trying to milk these men for this cash, for this money. Y'all gonna end up in the long run, like the woman with Jay-Z with the false accusations. He got the same lawyer with the same bullshit coming out the same ass. So women gonna have to start paying the price sooner or later for the shit that y'all keep putting out and y'all keep claiming. You know, that's bullshit. You'll suck a nigga dick and lick a nnigga ass, and then all of a sudden you want cash because he don't want to fuck with you no more. Whatever the situation is, you know, you can't get mad and want to sue a nigga because the $25,000 per cheek gone now. You know, you and fucked that up somehow, some way. Now you want to, you know, $50 million. You probably heard about the $100 million contract that he was putting out, that he was getting, and you know, you want to get your little $50 million. Where the price of $50 million even come out in the first place? You know, so I mean, it's a lot behind this shit. But like I said, he got my support. I won't never fall for a bitch that come out and want to sue a nigga for money instead of want to press charges and see him go to jail. for the violation. She don't feel so offended. She just feel offended that she got to be paid. She need the cash for the ass. So, tell my daughters, don't wait 20 years later if a nigga fucked you over, if anybody fucked you over, and come up 20 years and feel hurt and offended about it because I ain't gonna buy the bullshit. I understand shit happens, but you better come and tell a mother way between 20 years or 10 years about some shit that happened. Not necessarily saying that got anything to do with this case. Because she recently did it. She said, some bullshit. He hurt her. The dick was too big. She was a white girl. And Unc bust her ass out. And now she hurt and want to sue a nigga because, that's that Kobe. It's that Kobe shit. Remember that. We always get shook down. And like Unc said, it be the brothers. Be the brothers who these motherfuckers always shaking down. Always. Kobe, the shakedown. They always shaking down the brothers. So you got to remember this. The shakedown has begun. So just take due diligence in anything you say. Like, it's all alleged anyway. Let me say that. All alleged, that Unc did anything, But it's not alleged that this hoe is an OnlyFans model. That's a fact, That's a fact, So, but everything else is alleged that's criminally, in a way, not even criminally, civilly charged or whatever. But definitely, you got my support, man. I'm gonna give you my 2 cents, bro, and I'm out of here. Peace.